How to Win Friends and Influence People, a detailed summary overview How to Win Friends and Influence People, first published in 1936 by Dale Carnegie, is one of the best-selling self-help books of all time, with over 30 million copies sold worldwide. The book emerged from Carnegie's popular public speaking courses, which he began teaching at a YMCA in Harlem in 1912. Its enduring appeal lies in Carnegie's profound understanding of human nature, principles that remain relevant nearly a century later. The book's core premise is striking. Carnegie believed that financial success is due 15% to professional knowledge and 85% to the ability to express ideas, to assume leadership, and to arouse enthusiasm among people. The book is not about manipulation but about building genuine, sincere relationships based on understanding and appreciation. Part 1, Fundamental Techniques in Handling People. Principle 1, Don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Carnegie opens with a fundamental observation. Criticism is futile because it puts people on the defensive and makes them justify themselves. He notes that criticisms are like homing pigeons. They always return home. Instead of criticizing, we should seek to understand why others act as they do. Carnegie quotes psychologist B.F. Skinner, who demonstrated that animals rewarded for good behavior learn much faster than those punished for bad behavior. The same principle applies to humans. Principle 2, Give honest and sincere appreciation. People crave appreciation, and Carnegie emphasizes the difference between appreciation and flattery. Appreciation is sincere and comes from the heart, while flattery is selfish and insincere. He quotes William James, "The deepest principle in human nature is the craving to be appreciated. By honestly recognizing others' good qualities and contributions, we build lasting goodwill." Principle 3, Arouse in the other person an eager want. Carnegie's third principle is perhaps the most powerful. The only way on earth to influence other people is to talk about what they want and show them how to get it. Rather than focusing on what you want from others, think from their perspective. When you can connect your goals to their desires, you create genuine motivation and cooperation. Part 2, 6 Ways to Make People Like You. Principle 1, Become genuinely interested in other people. Carnegie famously begins this section by observing that the dog is the greatest winner of friends because dogs show genuine interest in people. Most people are primarily interested in themselves. I is the most common word in conversation, and people always look for themselves first in photographs. The paradox is that trying to impress others will never make you many friends, but becoming interested in others will. Carnegie shares examples throughout this chapter: a magician who would repeat "I love my audience" before every show, a sales representative who kept a client's business by chatting with the soda clerk and sales clerk, and his own practice of remembering friends' birthdays. In each case, sincere interest in others led to meaningful relationships and professional success. Principle 2, Smile. A simple smile, Carnegie argues, communicates friendliness and warmth more effectively than any words. It makes others feel welcome and valued. Principle 3, Remember that a person's name is the sweetest sound. Carnegie considers this one of the most important principles. People are deeply attached to their own names, and remembering them shows respect and genuine interest. Theodore Roosevelt, for example, greeted all White House servants by name and made it a point to know facts about them, making him beloved by his staff. Principle 4, Be a good listener and encourage others to talk about themselves. Most people would rather talk about themselves than listen to others. By being a good listener, you make others feel important and understood. Carnegie advises asking questions and showing genuine curiosity about others' lives and experiences. Principle 5, Talk in terms of the other person's interests. When you engage people on topics they care about, you build connection and rapport. This principle is illustrated through numerous examples in the book, including a student who finally won a customer's business after years of failure by asking about the customer's views on chain stores rather than pushing his product. Principle 6, Make the other person feel important, and do it sincerely. Everyone wants to feel valued. When you sincerely make others feel important, you build lasting loyalty and friendship. Part 3, How to Win People to Your Way of Thinking. Principle 1, The only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it. Carnegie warns that arguing is rarely productive. Even if you win an argument, the other person's pride may be wounded, and they will resent you. He notes that misunderstanding is never ended by an argument but by tact, diplomacy, conciliation, and a sympathetic desire to see the other person's viewpoint. The goal is not to prove yourself right, but to find common ground. Principle 2. Show respect for others' opinions and never say you're wrong. Telling someone they are wrong attacks their pride and makes them defensive. Instead, Carnegie suggests showing respect for others' opinions, even when you disagree. This doesn't mean abandoning your own views, but approaching differences with humility and understanding. Principle 3. If you are wrong, admit it quickly and emphatically. When you make a mistake, Carnegie advises admitting it openly and quickly. This disarms criticism and builds trust. People respect those who can acknowledge their errors. Principle 4. Begin in a friendly way. As Abraham Lincoln famously said, a drop of honey catches more flies than a gallon of gall. Starting interactions with friendliness, rather than confrontation or criticism, opens the door to productive conversation. Principle 5. Get the other person saying yes, yes immediately. By starting with points of agreement, you create momentum toward cooperation. Getting others to say yes early builds a positive framework for the conversation. Principle 6. Let the other person do the talking. People are more persuaded by ideas they discover themselves. By letting others talk, you learn their concerns, desires, and motivations, which helps you find common ground. Principles 7 to 12. Additional influence strategies. Let others feel the idea is theirs. People support what they create. See things from others' perspective. Understanding builds empathy. Be sympathetic. Acknowledge others' feelings and desires. Appeal to noble motives. People want to believe they act from high principles. Dramatize your ideas. Make concepts vivid and memorable. Throw down a challenge. Competition and pride can motivate action. Part 4. How to change people without giving offense. This section focuses on leadership, how to guide and improve others while maintaining their dignity and self-respect. Key leadership principles. Carnegie suggests beginning with sincere appreciation before addressing areas for improvement, and indirectly calling attention to mistakes rather than criticizing directly. He advises talking about your own mistakes before criticizing others. This positions you as a fellow learner rather than a judge. Asking questions instead of giving orders encourages ownership and creativity, while allowing others to save face preserves their dignity. Carnegie emphasizes praising the slightest improvement and being hearty in your approbation and lavish in your praise, giving others a fine reputation to live up to, and making faults seem easy to correct. He also advises making others happy about doing what you suggest. Core philosophy and reception. Carnegie's book has drawn criticism from some who view it as cynical or manipulative. Carnegie insisted that his advice must always be sincere. He distinguished between appreciation and flattery throughout the book. The tension is whether the advice is genuinely selfless or a strategy for personal gain, but Carnegie maintained that true effectiveness comes from sincere care for others. The book's principles, though simple, are profoundly difficult to practice consistently. As the School of Life observed, knowledge of the truth is a tiny fraction of what it takes to make truth effective in the world. What we need in spades is charm and an ability to persuade others that we are on their side. Key takeaways. The foundation of influence is sincere interest in others, not manipulation or technique. Criticism destroys relationships. Appreciation builds them to influence others. Talk about what they want, not what you want. People remember how you make them feel. Making others feel valued is the key to lasting relationships. Leadership is about preserving dignity, praise, encourage, and guide without humiliating.